And now, cruising with the Mustang Man, brought to you by All Star Blowers. I mean, the very best at what they do. Eddie Pruitt Ford, my dear friend in Hartselle, Alabama. Also by Brad Stovall Body Shop in Tanner, and by Jimmy Smith GMC. Right down the road, go by and see Austin and all the great folks down that way right now. Let's give away some cars.
Well, we're up to our 500th caller right now. We're still waiting for just a few more. But, Jamie, we've got a special treat today, 2 classic muscle cars. Gary, what have you brought? And then we'll get to Freddie in a minute. What did you bring up here today?
I brought a 1955 Chevrolet. I'd call it a resto mod, I guess.
Well, the thing that impresses me, not only the color, but that interior. Just phenomenal interior work there.
Yeah, Randy Cash did the interior. Randy Malone did the interior. And then Mike Lowry, Restorations by Mike, did the mechanical and body and paint work on it.
Just absolutely gorgeous color. And I mean, it screams classic muscle car. Now, did you cruise around in a car like this when you was in high school or college or what?
I wish I could have afforded one like this when I was in high school or college. Yeah, me and Jamie Cooper had to ride around in a old Chevelle or something.
Yeah. Well, any of the old cars are classics, I tell you, but just the body lines is so straight. What kind of motor you got in this one?
Well, we've got a GM crate engine, ZZ4 350, and it's got a fast fuel injection on it.
Man, fancy.
Computer controlled and coilovers on the front.
Now, the thing about this is not one of these trailer queens. You drive this. You just got back from a car show in Destin.
Yes, sir. Drove it down and back. Had a good time. Enjoyed it. And you've got to get out and drive them to enjoy them. I had an old 57 Chevrolet that I didn't feel comfortable driving because it was all original. And so we modified these to have air conditioning.
Yeah, is it for sale?
Well, for the right money, I guess, Jamie, but it'd be hard to buy it.
I don't blame you there.
I might have more money than I look like.
I just hope I win it back on your show today.
Yeah, that's right. You better get to dialing. Well, and you brought your good friend Freddie with you today. Freddie, you've had this car a little while. Tell us what this is.
Well, this is they got, I would say it's a SS 396 Chevelle. It's one of the favorites, I think. I had a 66 when I was in high school, and when this car come available, I had to have it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Is that an original color?
No, the original color was blue on this car, but there's kind of the history on this car. There was a guy in Florence, he owned a body shop, and he had a car just like this when he was younger, and he painted this color because that was like his old car. But Merino blue was the original color, but everything else is pretty much original on the car.
Gotcha. Well, and you've added a few things for creature comforts. Now, you do the same. You don't trailer this car. You drive it to shows. You said you went up to Nashville last year to the Good Guys show at Titan Stadium?
Correct. And I was wanting to go this year, but we got something come up, so we're going to ride motorcycles this year. But, yeah, we don't trailer this car. I've had a trailer queen, but not this one. I love to drive this car here.
Well, you know, and that's the thing that impressed me about what Gary was saying is you guys do get out and drive these. You know, Carroll Shelby was famous for saying, well, was it Shelby? I don't remember who it was. Somebody said, as our pastor would say, horsepower is nothing if it's in the garage. You know, if you're going to get out and drive them and enjoy them, that's what makes them fun.
Exactly right. It's a lot of fun. Gary and I go to a lot of shows together, and we enjoy this, you know. And now I'm getting my wife. I can't say she enjoys it, but she goes because I like for her to go.
There you go. Well, they enjoy whatever we enjoy. They just don't hold out as long as we do when it comes to these car shows. But, well.
Man who played Bill France
yeah, where is Danny right here? Today he's working as a cameraman. But, Danny, I'll tell you what, you just got it. You're all over the TV. Bill France Sr., CMT's, NASCAR Rise of American Speed, I guess it is. Was that surreal to see yourself on there?
Aren't you Joseph Scott, man? I saw you on TV.
You saw me on TV. That really was a great role for you. This week's episode, you're going to be all over it. I mean, you are head of NASCAR.
Yeah, it changes over this time now to the older Bill France or Bill France Sr. And I'm amazed at the history on that show, man.
Really?
I'm learning so much about it. It's,
built in Daytona, I mean.
Yeah, down there, you gotta admire a guy like that. He had a great line they didn't use, I noticed. But he said to a buddy when they were watching the beach races, he said, you know, we ought to organize this. We might get a couple of hundred people to show up.
That's funny. That's funny. He does. You do. You know what? And we just happen to have a realtor here since we're talking about. Tammy, good to see you this morning. Now, do you have a classic hot rod or do you just sell
I have
houses?
a classic home. I just listed yesterday the Jimmy Greenhall Mansion, downtown Athens on Jefferson
I
Street.
saw that. My wife was actually looking at that. I said,
It's
"No,
fantastic.
we can't afford that one, but
You can.
it's a beautiful home.
It's lots of history inside, lots of imported things from England, and just love to show it.
What is your connection with any of these people up here today?
I am actually Freddie's aunt. His mom is my sister, and Gary Ryan, just a good friend for a long time, and we just enjoy the car shows that they go to and have a good time.
Are there any car shows this weekend?
Yes, there are, Jamie. I'm glad you asked. I've got a few that I sent to Brad, and let's talk about those. This weekend, as Freddie was telling us, is the 11th annual Good Guys Nashville Nationals up at Titan Stadium there in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, this is if you're not familiar with this show, this is only 1973 and older, so not a lot of modern cars at this one. This is your classics, a lot of your resto mods and cruisers, so don't want to miss that. That's all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday will really be the big day, but this Saturday at Lindsay Lane Baptist Church, the Eli's Block Party, car, truck, and bike extravaganza. You don't want to miss that one. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Most folks will probably start kind of cruising into that around 9:30. Activities for the kids, live music. Matt Prater's going to be singing, I think, from 10 to 12. Food vendors, stuff for the kids to do, moon bounce, I don't know what all. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you come up to that one. And then after you leave that show, you can go grab something for supper and then head over to the Veterans Park in Priceville. That's the Will Stevens Foundation Cruise. That was a young man a few years ago, and they set up this charity show for him. But that one is from 5 to 9. That's what they call a cruise in. But they are giving away a lot of stuff there. It looks like a GM 350 crate motor, cash prizes. So head out to that one, folks. I got a lot of shows next week you don't want to miss. Look at all these folks behind me here. Just an incredible crowd. Maddie, you want to come in here and say something? You going to take my picture? Listen, next week I'm already working on something big. My man right here was on Nashville last night. Good to see him in his little AA meeting, talking to Deacon. Can't miss that one.
He needs D group.
Yeah, he does. He needs a D Now group. So, well, listen, you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.